What is going on, RuneScape.com? It is your boy Ojama Garrett's with yet another item tier list, batched up, ready to rock and roll. So, like, comment, subscribe, join the conversation. If you want this list for yourself, hit me up, Discord down below. Ask for it. I'll send a zip file for it. You know, whatever. Just want to encourage people to make their own list, do that type of stuff as well. Okay. Looking at these items here, let's talk about what Adamant's got going on, and this is where we're starting to get into that big boy money. We're crossing the line. We're crossing the line, boys. So we have some junk here, collectible junk from treasure trails and stuff like that, which are going to have their own little things going on. But now we're starting to get into some power items. So we're getting into high elk mega zone. We're getting into smithing territory. We're getting into training items. We're getting into blowpipe ammo. We're getting into that's about it, actually. This is kind of more of a straightforward one, and this should be pretty simple. I'm seeing a lot of just pretty boilerplate items. Okay, so running it down again. Another B tier Adamant two-handed sword. I've bought and sold these. These are going to be decent to elk. They're going to be decent to resale. It's a decent item. We got poison arrows. Poison arrows suck, but we're getting close. We're getting close to where these don't suck anymore. Okay, at least arrows. But Adamant arrow, S tier. Actually, I'm debating this, actually. My instinct said S tier, but then I'm like, it's a scary item. It's a volatile item. You'll mostly make your money on it, but if you're not watching it quick, it can burn you pretty hard. Like, I stopped flipping for 3 weeks, and then I came back, and then I want to say like 150k arrows I had gotten on an account lost 5 GP each. So, it's not the end of the world. You can just reinvest and make your money back, but it is just annoying to feel tied to an item, like attention-wise. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're pretty solid here. So Adamant arrowheads, I'm just gonna put them here. You know what I mean? Like, it's not scalable members-wise, but this is a decent item to get good margins in the members world now. It's Adamant. A lot of players are gonna be fletching. This is a good way for them to get fletching experience. A lot of people are gonna smith these because it's very AFK. I think items, I'm not 100% sure if these are dropped a lot, but whatever. It's just not a bad item, but it's not super great. It's not bad. Might be, I think it's fine. Okay, so we got the Adamant axe. This is going to have really good resale value because it's going to, everybody's training with Adamant. You know what I mean? And there's like, it's just usable. You know what I'm saying? 30 to 40, or what is it? 31 to 41? Don't remember off the top of my head. Super simple for people to get. Woodcutting's an easy skill. Maybe not the best. Like in my last video about Mithril, we'll just go for the pickaxe. Maybe not as good as the Adamant pickaxe or Mithril pickaxe or whatever, so maybe we'll slide this down the A tier here a little bit, because the Adamant pickaxe you'll be holding on to for a lot longer because the mine grind is a lot longer. So more people are gonna have this and want it because it's like a lot more important to get those perfect efficiency, the highest efficiency that you can afford for such a long grinded skill. So then we have the Adamant battle axe. It's going to go up because it's got a lot better resale value because the elk value on it's going to be a lot better. So a lot more people are going to be looking for it. The elkmate.com is going to help you find that a lot more. Adamant bolts unfinished, very fletchable. Again, 5, maybe even 10 GP margins on this type of item. The Adamant bolts poisons are kind of but the Adamant bolts, I'm gonna put up an S tier. I've made mils a week just on this item alone. It's a very nice item. You can get like 5 GP spreads, 10 GP spreads pretty easily. They go up and down in season, buy and hold a lot, but if you get a lot of them, you can make a lot of money off of them as well. I will put Adamant boots up into the A tier because this is now a melee boot with decent defensive stats and a good strength stat. Brutal ogre arrows I do kind of think suck. Cosmetic Adamant cane, kind of cool, but it's whatever. I don't really care about it. High A tier for the chain body. Chain body's got really good resale value because of its elk price. Adamant crossbow is going to be a little bit better because it is a PK now live item. though a lot of people are not going to be buying and selling it though, but it's still decent to PK with and whatever. Here and there. On dead end mode, this is a lot better, but you know, here it's not that bad. Unstrung, probably not going to be the best. Poison, adamant, dagger, not very useful, not a lot of uses. The adamant dagger, not going to see a lot of that. Maybe a collector, but it's not the best anymore. It's fallen down in effectiveness compared to the rest of the items. Adamant darts do buy and sell really hard and fast, and these two items here can make you a lot of money with relatively no effort whatsoever. So if you're just on one account, don't look to scale. Look no further than these two items. Add them to your repertoire. You will make a lot of money. Easy money. Not like the craziest flip ever, but it's not nearly the worst flip. Adamant darts, again, same thing, a little bit more expensive than the adamant dart. You know, people want the experience, but there is a bigger spread on this type of item, and it is high demand. Again, Dragon Mask, don't know shit about them. If I'm wrong, let me know. The Forester's Axe, I'm not even 100% sure what this mechanics are on these items, if they're even really that good. Maybe the Iron Man, but that's not really from a flipper's perspective. Adamant Full Helm is going to be very solid B. I feel like these are like randomly like good for alking, but they're probably pretty decent. They're probably a lot more decent than C tier. I'm kind of feeling that way about the mithril ones too, but the adamant ones probably feel a little bit more like that. But I'm just going to slide them all here because not a lot of people are buying that for cool factor, and there's just not a lot of volume of them, so you kind of have to like poke around. But the Alchemate can follow these and track them pretty well and get you whatever. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of like of these that you can elk and make more money on them than normal because not a lot of demand for them. But yeah, so the Addy set, I want to say is probably top of A, just because, you know, people train, and this now becomes a lot more common. The 30 to 40 spread or stretch is a lot more apparent, and people are definitely going to be buying that and not skipping that set as much, especially in the free-to-play. The Adamant Hellbred, the Hostas are pretty much hot garbage, Hosta garbage. Pretty sure the Javelins have some sort of resale value. Again, I just haven't researched it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, whatever. It's not the end of the world if I'm off on one item. Most of these items are good. Adamant Kite Shield's going to be right here around the chain body. Has a really good elk resale value. It's just a good solid item to flip. Again, these trimmed items, whatever. Adamant throwing knives are going to be, I'll put them below A. They're good. Knives are just good. You know, people are training with them constantly. They disappear from the game all the time, and they come back into the game. There's a good circular economy with them where you holding the bag is going to make you a lot of money. Not as good. Adamant Longsword. I'm sure it's got some elk, but it's not as good. It's pretty easy to get, though. Same with the Adamant Mace. Same with the Medium Helm. They're just not very good. Adamant Seeds. I don't know what these are for, but I'm pretty sure they're bought. Anyway, so now we have, I'll just continue to put the junk, the same likes here. Put those back here. I'm pretty sure these are all, I could be way off. I mean, if these are all free to play, they're probably pretty decent for sleeper accounts to go for, you know what I'm saying? Adamant Spear, probably a decent elk, but the poisons are not going to be very good for flipping, so they will go down in butt. The Adamant Square Shield is probably going to go up somewhere around full helm because, or whatever. It's probably got a, I see, it's probably in the B tier. It's probably B tier. I don't think it's better than plate skirt. Okay. I think these are a good order so far now. Okay, so we have a lot of good items here. So this is going to be a theme, but this is getting sexy. And this might be your first tier list video. So let me just run it down. The Adamant plate body is where the rich people and the poor people split. Okay? Adamant plate body is Elk City, brother. I see Adamant plate bodies bought and sold like crazy, bro. It is like the rich man's poor. It's like the poorest of the rich people are buying this in mass and they're selling it in mass, and this is where you go when you're a big boy. You can make a killing on these items, and they're free to play, infinite scalable. So right there. So the Adamant Scimitar, I'm gonna put it at a high A, probably highest A, just because it is a good melee weapon to train with. It is best in slot for free to play training 30 to 40. And same for members, I believe. Brine Saber might be better. I'm not 100% sure when you get that online, though. That might be a rune item. So plate set, I'm going to put that up there too with it right here, because these are going to be, you know what I mean? This is pretty much your standard training kits, and you know, I will way overpay for an Adamant set just so I don't have to click and buy 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? Time saved. So you make that money by putting them together for me. Adamant sword, probably gonna go around where the dagger's at. Throwing axe is not very good. Warhammer is gonna go up here just because it's a better elk item now. The Adamant bar arguably might be better. These are very, very close. Adamant bars. Crossbow limbs are probably not that bad, but they're probably not that good. Adamant nails. This is a decent one. I just want to get back to the ore conversation here. This is pretty much the list here. Like I said, this one's going to be pretty straightforward. But again, I'll break this down. I just had math here talking about this before, but you know, you got 125 times 6, 750 plates you can be buying per day per account. So if you have 10 accounts, you know, times 10, 7,500. You make anywhere, I believe, and this could be way off. It could be way more, but you know, you're easy making 100 GP to 150 GP per unit. So like 10 accounts could be making 1 mil a day. You know what I mean? Easy. But to facilitate this type of market, why it's so good is because these cost like 9,000 each. So you're gonna need 67 mil just to get that item. So you could be going like mithril plate bodies, adamant plate bodies, steel plate bodies, and then get one account to be spending, like investing 180 mil, and it would still be a passive, but definitely worth your time worth of GP. That it's just, it prints money. It's for free, bro. It's so good. And then why is ores and bars? Because if you can find these below elk price at a decent time when the supply demand cycles swing, you can get, it's like buying more Addy plate bodies. So Addy plate body, 125 per 6 hours. You can only get 750 a day. But I'm pretty sure the buy limit on adamant ore, for instance, is 13,000. So boom, 78,000 divided by, what is it, 4 to make an Addy bar. So it's 2, or is that, no, it's 1 bar, 3 coal. So it's like divided by 4, I believe. So 13,000. 1 ore is like worth, no, that math is way off, because the ore is worth like 800 or something, and then like the coal is worth like 100 or something like that. So that math's way off, but it's just for envisioning sake, let's just talk about bars. So 13,000 bars per 4 hours divided by 5 is like buying 2,600 adamant plate bodies per hour. So then per day, you're able to get 15,600 adamant plate bodies. A little bit cheaper because, you know, you're not doing the value added effort of changing them into plate bodies, which sort of isn't even that, because people who are buying the bars up, they just want the experience and to get their money back. So it's effectively, people will pay the same amount of money for the bars as they would the plate bodies. So effectively, you could be buying 15,000 plus 750, and let's just say like a quarter of the ore, or I don't even know. So like, I don't want to do that math. Okay, so, okay, I'm just gonna give up, but at least a quarter. So like a quarter of this added to it. So times 0.25 plus 16K. So it's effectively buying like 20,000 plate bodies a day. You know, 20,000 plate bodies a day. You know, just roughly that. So if you're making 150 a day, it'd be like 3 mil a day just on these 3 items, potentially. Damn, that's so good. Anyway, and it's infinitely scalable across free-to-play accounts. So you could have the accounts that are just getting plate bodies. You could have accounts that are just getting ores, accounts that are just getting bars. And like, to simplify it too, just a little quick tip, just for like crypto, you know, dollar cost averaging into crypto is like the best way to make money with crypto, or stocks, you know, that type of shit. So like a way to look at buying into these, don't worry about like, when is it worth my time? Oh, it's at 22 below the out price or something like that. Just like, if it's a good price, as you get money, extra money from like whatever, just keep buying the item until it'll eventually go back the other way. You know what I mean? Like, you guys, like everybody creating buy pressure, which is where more people buy an item. It causes the item to go up, and this is where merch clans were a problem, but this is just a natural phenomenon of the market. Just participating in the market is not market manipulation, like in a bad way. But just creating buying pressure when it's at a low point will eventually raise the price of the item. So then you can just take your stores and then just start dumping it back in when it hits your profit margin that you're happy with. Or you can just go to the secondary market and just like capitalize there and just get rid of everything in bulk and then just reinvest all your money again. But you can just dollar cost average and you keep going into it. As long as you're increasing the volume of your sales, you'll make a lot of money. So again, there we go. Adamant tier list. Looks pretty straightforward. Not a lot going on, not a lot of fancy stuff going on here, but this is just the way it is. Write it down, remember it. I don't know. Let me know if I'm way off or whatever. Really appreciate the support everybody's giving me. Again, check out the links down below. You want to learn how to scale, save a bunch of time. Link down below, whatever. Yeah. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more. My brain's getting kind of cooked, but yeah, this is awesome. Thank you. See you later.